Well, as promised here on this channel, each and every month, I'm going to go over the months of inventory in the marketplace to better help you determine which way your marketplace is headed. Because this is a new addition to the channel, I'm still trying to figure out the best format. So if you don't mind, just leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you like last month's format or if this month's format's a little better, or if you have any other suggestions of other things you might want to hear about the entire Fraser Valley market in a format that could be looked at month by month. And with a bit of a spoiler alert here, which shouldn't be that much of a spoiler alert, the entire marketplace is trending towards a buyer's market. And hopefully that makes you trend to buy a click of the like button right now for the YouTube algorithm to help me get this information out to other people also living in the Fraser Valley. And if you want to see this video again next month, please remember to subscribe so you don't miss that video. And if you need help here in the Fraser Valley in any sort of asset class of residential real estate, you can book a call with me right now down below in the description with just a few simple clicks at a time that works best for you. Now, as a little bit of a reminder, this is how months of inventory works. It's a consumption rate. And well, basically you take the active listings on the market and divide them by the number of sales in the last 30 days, and that gives you months of inventory. If that number is 0 to 3 months of supply, well, you are in a seller's market and generally prices are going up. 4 to 5 months of supply and you're in a balanced market and things are nice and easy, kind of good for everybody. And 6 or more months of supply on the market, really, again, there is some question whether or not that's 6 or 7 months of supply, but 6 or more months of supply on the market right now really leads towards prices dropping, and we call that a buyer's market because it's better for the buyer than the seller. And a lot of people actually end up calling that a bad market because prices are not increasing. However, I kind of disagree. It is actually good for the buyers. So as I mentioned, a little bit of a different format here for you. Let me dive into the numbers. So I'm going to compare last month to this month so you can kind of see exactly what's gone on in the marketplace. And we're going to start here with condos. Last month, the whole condo market sat at about 1.8 months of supply, a pretty heavy seller's market. And it has proven true in the pricing is that is our current best market. But in just 1 month, we are seeing that, well, hey, months of inventory is increasing, and there's a very good chance by this time next month we will be in a balanced market, even in our strongest asset classes. Cloverdale led the way again, but they did see almost 50% increase in the amount of listings compared to sales. North Delta actually improved, but it is a very small sample set in North Delta. There are not many condos in North Delta, so this number's going to swing quite a bit. And I think you're going to notice that when we look at North Delta townhomes, because that number's kind of crazy. Langley is still looking fairly strong at the moment with 2.2 months of supply. And I mean, let's keep going here with South Surrey, then Surrey, North Delta, and Abbotsford, all still under 4 months of supply. So all very, very strong markets. Mission, again, a very small sample set, not very many condos out in Mission, but it has now crept into a balanced market. Now, Mission does have the ability to swing from a buyer's market to a seller's market month over month because, hey, if there's only 7 properties and 1 sells or 7 sells, things change quite a bit. But let's look at the big differences here. I mean, almost every asset class, Langley from 1.5 months of supply to 2.2, South Surrey 1.5 to 2.3, everywhere is increasing month over month from April until May. And the way June is headed currently, this trend is continuing. 2.2 and 2.2 in Surrey last month and North Surrey, and they're both up and over 3. I would assume that almost all of these asset classes, maybe with the exception of Cloverdale, could be in balanced territory by as soon as this video next month. And again, with Mission, I mean, it almost doubled in just a month, but that can happen with very, very small sample sets. Over in the townhouse market, we went from 2.8 months of supply last month all the way up to 3.4. So the townhouse market is starting to show signs of weakness as the detached market has completely already. So something to consider there. North Surrey, it stayed the same. That's great. 2.6 months of supply. Cloverdale seeing more supply coming on. Langley saw a very big increase from 1.8 all the way up to 2.8. Mission, again, very small sample set, so these numbers will swing, so take this with a grain of salt. but Mission did actually improve and go further into a seller's market. South Surrey, still in a seller's market. Surrey itself, which is kind of that center area of Surrey, actually did improve month over month, if you can believe it. But balanced market last month and almost a balanced market this month, so not a massive deal. The area Abbotsford does a big swing here all the way into very balanced at 4.5 months of supply. So Abbotsford looks like there could be some good buys. And then this is what I was talking about in North Delta. Not that many townhomes in North Delta. This could be as simple as a project coming to the market or something like that. But we had 6 months of supply, which put them into a buyer's market last month, and it has since tripled. So there is some chance that North Delta right now, with the amount of properties that are on the market, there could be some very, very good deals there. But with the limited amount of listings that we have in North Delta in townhouses, there's a very good chance that that actually may not be super representative, because at 18-month supply, prices will be just hammering downwards. And switching into the detached market, the overall Fraser Valley last month was 4, just getting into balanced, almost slipping into that 6 range. We're at 5.6. So detached homes in the Fraser Valley by this time next month will for sure slip into a buyer's market. And we're already starting to see the pricing affect that. Langley is the strongest market right now, but almost balanced. I mean, it's getting there. And then everybody else from there is balanced or a buyer's market already. Cloverdale dropped. Cloverdale's crazy. So Cloverdale went from 2 months of inventory, which is basically nothing, up into a balanced market in 1 month. And we're expecting that to continue to go even further. So Cloverdale, I think you're going to see some hurt in that neighborhood over the next little bit. And this will trickle down into townhouses, just so everybody understands, but it doubled. So you see a doubling of inventory. Now, that's not necessarily more homes on the market when you see a doubling of months of inventory. It could be more homes on the market, but way less sales, which is probably more realistic. North Delta, 2.4 all the way up to 5.1. So more than doubling in North Delta detached home. So if you have a home listed in North Delta right now, expect your prices to start coming down. And by the time we see these numbers next month, I don't have a lot of faith in them given what the Bank of Canada is doing. Mission 3.3 up to 5.1. Abbotsford 4.7. Not that bad of an increase, actually, not even a full month. South Surrey, here's a big number. If you're in South Surrey, and this is probably a lot due to price point, 4.1 months of supply in April, you're already at 7. So firmly into a buyer's market in South Surrey detached. The area of Surrey, which again is that center kind of area, if you know the area, Panorama, Newton, Sullivan Station, from a balanced market heavily into now a buyer's market. And North Surrey may have taken one of the biggest hits because it's the only guy over 8 months of supply on the market, from 5.6 in a fair balanced market all the way into a buyer's market at 8.4 months of inventory. So what does all of this mean? Well, detached homes are the leading indicator here in our market in Surrey in the Fraser Valley. So they are sliding heavily into a buyer's market. That means townhouses are next and starting to already get there. So you have to almost underprice a detached home in order to get it sold. You have to be under your neighbor that sold previously. So if you're sticking onto those February, March, April prices, you're just not going to sell, is basically what it breaks down to. In townhouses, that trend is coming. So if you have a townhouse and you can still get out from under it right now, and your plans are to sell within the next 2 or 3 years, now is going to be your highest price. So that is something to consider. And condos, I'm warning you, condo sellers right now, you might think that that offer is $3,000 or $4,000, not enough, in the wrong direction. But as this trends moving forward, we are going to see the condo market soften. Now, it's going to stay probably the best because it is the most affordable spot to be. But again, I think all prices right now in each asset class are as high as they're going to be, likely for, I don't know, let's call it 6 to 18 months. So if you're trying to get out of a property, do it quickly and price well. Rely on the expertise of your agent in order to get that done. However, if you are holding on to the idea of what your neighbor sold for even last week, well, you better plan on being in that house what I think is going to be probably a 2.5 to 3.5 year plan, because I don't think we're going to see those prices. And you have to ask yourself, should I get the money out now and do something else with it? Or do I want to stay where I am? And can I stay where I am for the next 3 to 5 years? And if you're a buyer, well, this is where everybody's taking their foot off the gas. And you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to wait for prices to go down, because realistically, the longer you wait right now, the purchase price will go down. There's a lot of argument of whether or not your payment will go down or possibly even increase, and it will likely increase. It's what I think will happen. But you do have to set a measure for what you think success is going to be. Because yes, I do believe if you don't buy until the end of August, I think there's going to be some great purchases in August, by the way. I think if you wait too long, you're going to miss that trend, miss the bottom, and then just have higher and higher interest rates. So you have to set yourself a goal. If you're holding off right now, do yourself this one favor. Define what the goal is. So that means what purchase price for what type of property at what interest rate. And when that makes sense for you, that's when you need to get into the market, not when the big news media starts trying to tell you that the market is finally returning, because by then it's too late. And if you're not someone that is trying to time the market, or you've been in your home for a long, long time, and it doesn't really matter because life moves on, well, you can book a call with me right now down below in the description, so I can show you how you may be able to get your home on the market and sold in what is now an officially a declining market. Or if you are looking to purchase because you need, I don't know, another bedroom for your growing family, well, also book a call with me, set up a time, and let's have a conversation about real estate. Until then, I'm super excited to announce that Tom Story and I have both started a weekly real estate podcast, of which the links are down below and available now on audio podcast apps everywhere. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Check out another video before you go, and I'll see you in a couple of days.